this interview, I was really asked one question: what chiefs have worked for you or you worked for, and how is Chief Walker different? And honestly, it took me a while to think about exactly how I'd want to answer that question, but it really came down to an evolution actually in my career, and then what got me to where I was so that I could work with Chief Walker, believe it or not. When I first started out, chiefs were this, mythic element up on high, where they were all 30 years in the Air Force, and crusty and old and grumpy. And most of them were maintenance group chiefs, so they're still like that today. However, when I was in the working as the PIM at ACC, I got to work with a maintenance group chief who had his master's degree, and he was working on his PhD at the time, and he was really, really, really seasoned in the art of mentorship. And he mentored me as I was a young major, and I really took that to heart as I started growing as an officer, where I would seek out chiefs to not only help them, but have them mentor me. And the qualities that I've seen the most that have been effective were chiefs that are compassionate, chiefs that have character, and chiefs that are competent. And Stephanie Walker has all three in spades. She is compassionate about not only her job, but the troops she leads. And hands down, she will fight to the last tooth and nail for the people in this organization, and she has done that, and she's delivered in spades. She's competent. She gets operations, and she understands how she needs to work as a chief to collaborate with the other groups on this base to effectively do the Wing's mission. And she's very, very good at doing that as well too. And first and foremost, she is the epitome of character, which ties right into integrity, right? And the definition of integrity that I like to use is someone who has an unfaltering devotion to honesty, truthfulness, doing one's duty, and doing what is right. And that is Stephanie Walker, hands down. One of the best chiefs I've ever met.
I joined the Air Force when I was 20 because I felt like I had no ambition. I wouldn't say I was lazy because I was going to school full time. Worked at a daycare center at the school in between classes, had a couple of nighttime and weekend jobs, all that. Hung out with my friends a lot, but I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So one day I just went to the Air Force recruiting office. My dad retired from the Navy after 24 years. My grandpa, my great uncle, two uncles, my stepdad, 4 cousins, and 2 nephews have all been in the military. So I would say we're a proud military family. I didn't join necessarily to follow in their footsteps, but because I knew I would get some type of direction. So the plan was 4 years and be done. Here we are today, 26 years later, still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. But I can honestly say it was the best decision of my life. I've had a lot of memorable moments in the Air Force, but I would say my most rewarding experience in the Air Force is when I was stationed at Spangdahlem and my unit got tasked to deploy within 48 hours. I got the phone call at 2 a.m., went in, got the brief from the commander, and then I called one of my NCOs. She had just started terminal leave earlier that week, but I called her and said I knew she wouldn't want to miss that. So she came in, she brought her daughter slept under the workstation, and we brainstormed what we needed to do to get our equipment and people out the door, and then called in the rest of the team. A little bit after 8, other people from our other sister shops came in to help as well, so it was everybody, all hands in, a part of the mission. And the adrenaline was there, we're going, we're doing something. This is for Operation New Dawn. But we forgot one of the most key parts of the checklist, which was to send our deployers home. So 12 hours later, we get a call to go to process go through the processing line. That was 3 or 4 hours. We finally got released. It was already 11 o'clock at night. And then 40 minutes later, we got a call to be back at the PAX terminal. So it was a very long day, but everybody was all in. They were excited to be a part of it. As Colonel McClung would say, they shared a sense of belonging, and that really is one of the most rewarding things I've ever experienced as a senior NCO. The advice I would give to airmen, so I heard a quote once and it said, "The only permanent is change," and that had me thinking about the Air Force. And when I was in Iraq in 2011, I started a list of changes that have happened throughout my career. So I asked Lieutenant Smith if he could help me communicate this, and here he is.
Yep. Man, I tell you what, all these years serving, I ain't never thought I'd see so many changes when I came in. I'm about to have PTSD with all these changes. Let me help y'all understand me. So many changes in the Air Force that I've been through. The only thing that's been consistent is our service blues. U.S. Air Force on top. Go ahead and Google. Now the Air Force song is gender neutral. Back in my day, BMT was 6 weeks. Not for the faint, not for the weak. Then in 05 got warrior ethos. I'm like, what is Beast Week? Back in my day, we had BDUs. Way too much starch. Thought it was cool. Then we had ABUs never matching. Now we got OCPs for all these patches. Back in my day, the reg was strict. Showing your tats, you can forget. Now we got airmen walking in with sleeves. And I'm like, what the hell is all these? Back in my day, PT was a breeze. Bike test, pass with ease. Now we got push-ups and sit-ups and running up. Help me, Lord, I'm throwing up. So many changes in the Air Force that I've been through. The only thing that's been consistent is our service blues. U.S. Air Force on top. Go ahead and Google. Now the Air Force song is gender neutral. Back in 07, force reduction. In 14, force reduction. We gotta do more with less. In 22, acting like we ain't struggling. Back in my day, we had courses. 14 and 15, they were annoying. Then the chief came with Holy Ghost might. Shout out to Chief Wright. Back in my day, no mess around. Wear your hair down, you get a frown. Then the ranks changed its details. Now ladies walking around with pigtails. Back in my day, slogan aim high. Telling recruits, reach for the sky in 7-5. Now we innovate, accelerate, and thrive. So many changes in the Air Force that I've been through. The only thing that's been consistent is our service blues. U.S. Air Force on top. Go ahead and Google. Now the Air Force song is gender neutral. Miko, off we go into the wild blue yonder. Climbing high into the sun. Clap, clap, clap. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. At 'em all, give 'em the gun. Blow, blow, blow. Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, no go down in flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Shout out to Lieutenant Smith. Over the years, I've come to realize that change is needed in the military for us to evolve. That's why commanders change out every 2 years. Most of us change out every few years. We relocate. It's because we all bring new perspective, and it helps prevent us from becoming stagnant. I'm 100% on board with change. But what I came to realize while I was stationed in Korea for 2 years in 2008 through 2010 was that airmen are born to be leaders and fixers. And with such a high turnover, everybody that came in wanted to fix something. And that's good, because there's always something that needs to be fixed. But since 2010, I've been telling my airmen, it's important to remember that it's good for you to want to fix things, but also keep in mind that the person before you fixed things as well. They just had a different perspective. But more importantly, the people that are on your team that were there with the previous team, they want to know your change is only enhancing something that they've already been working on. The next guy or girl that comes in is going to want to change what you changed, and your change could be forgotten. But how you make your airmen feel about the change could stay with them forever. The thing I'll miss most about being in the Air Force is being a part of such a diverse family. And to me, the Air Force is my family, on top of my actual family. I wish every airman had a family as supportive as mine. After 9 assignments and 7 commands, 2 real deployments, and hundreds of TDYs, I'm going to miss the opportunity to network with people, make new family members, and be a part of something that is bigger than us as individuals. I'm very happy to finish out my career here at Dyess. I love Abilene. This is the most supportive military community I've ever been to. And I'm truly honored to be a part of the 7th Bomb Wing, the wing, the group, and squadron command teams all, I feel that they've made a huge impact, and I'm just honored that I'm completing my career here at Dyess.